Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to an exciting edition of PWR Today, this Friday, August 19th, 2022. This is a little bit of a different team for a Friday morning. I don't think, Linda, I don't know if we've ever had you and I on a Friday show or not, but welcome to the show, Linda Kay. Linda, how are you doing this morning?
Doing tremendous as always. Thank you. I really do think it is the first time that you and I are tag teaming on a Friday morning.
Absolutely. And so would that make us the kind of like the Heart Foundation, maybe? Not to tease anything later in the show, but I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a tag team out there, just for that was the first thing that came to mind. But I mean, if you're in a tag team, or if you're a singles competitor, or if you're a fan, or if you're doing whatever you are doing, you want to look good doing it. And Linda, do you have any recommendations for somebody who wants to be stylish in whatever endeavors they embark on?
Right. And to add to that intro, whether you're in a trios tag team as well, because that's really popular nowadays, make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. And as Matthew said, check out the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashion. Check out the sales. And if you always want to save a little extra cash, to always save 10% off your order, use promo code LindaK. That's LINDAKAY.
Absolutely. Now, Linda, we were just talking a little bit off air. A very busy weekend for you coming up in the Wisconsin area, correct?
Yes, we've got a huge show tomorrow. It's going to be in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. I dare you try to spell that, everyone. So it's about an hour, not 45 minutes or so west of downtown Milwaukee, but great, huge show we have in collaboration with the baseball team there, the Lake Country Dockhounds, in their stadium, Wisconsin Brewing Company Stadium, that is, hosting not just a GLCW show where yours truly is going to be wrestling. I can say it. It's official. I will
Oh my goodness.
be in the ring to a different capacity. Instead of a mic in my hand, I will have my fist in my hand, I guess. So on top of that, and a huge lineup of GLCW and OVW and other local promotion stars on the bill, we have none other than Mr. Woo himself, Ric Frickin' Flair. Not to take it off Seth Rollins there, but Ric Flair, the guest of honor. Huge day tomorrow. It's going to start off first. Matthew, the Dockhounds are arranged for a bike ride. So if you've got your Harley, or you don't have to be a Harley, but it's going to start at the War Memorial, just off Lake Michigan there in Milwaukee, where our guest of honor, Ric Flair, will be leading that ride from downtown Milwaukee, from the lake all the way to Wisconsin Brewing Company Field in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, where we'll then have the meet and greet with Rick, 4 o'clock bell time. So yeah, early show, 4 o'clock, because a little before 6:30, Ric Flair's going to throw the first pitch, and then game time, 6:30. You can enjoy a baseball game there by the Lake Country Dockhounds. So huge weekend in the Milwaukee area. If you can make it, there's still a limited amount of those meet and greet packages with Rick, and of course the game tickets, and you can find that at dockhounds.com. Again, that's dockhounds.com, or follow the Great Lakes Championship Wrestling socials for more details. But I'm stoked for that. Yeah, huge weekend, and I'm just excited again. Just to, I love doing all different things with pro wrestling, Matthew. I'm the Jill of all trades, if you will.
The Jill of all trades. Yes, you certainly are.
That could be my gimmick.
The Jill of all trades. The J.O.A.T.
Yes.
I think we may just have coined a new. Oh, Jill
like
Jill
the goat,
of
goat.
Jolt. I like Jolt better.
Goat.
I like Jolt better
goat.
of all, because all you can take the A and the L in. Oh my goodness, the Jolt. I think we are onto something.
Just Jolt, like Jill of all trades. So it's like that. Like, no, I'm not the goat. I'm not the boat, but I am the Jolt.
The Jolt. Oh, Oh, so you want to go? What do you think, J-O-A-T, or do we want to take the A and the L from all and go Jolt, as in J-O-L-T?
Either works.
Yeah,
Onto something here.
that's a conundrum. Maybe we'll let the people decide. If you want to reach out to us on our respective Twitter handles, you can do that. Or, we'll get, when we talk to Meathead next week, we'll get his input. I'm sure he has he's probably got one of those little scales that you see, like where you put the pebbles in one and then you put the pebbles in the other to, like you see like on judicial buildings, where they're holding up the scales of justice. Maybe he can kind of put the pros and cons of J.O.A.T versus Jolt in there, and we can get a decisive option, and that would actually probably look really good on a collar and elbow T-shirt.
Right. I mean, just like, oh my gosh, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, the scale.
Absolutely.
They could totally use that as well. So I digress.
Without a doubt. Well, one bit of news this morning, Linda, coming off the heels of AEW Dynamite a few nights ago. So the reporting that has taken place since then seems to point to the fact that that little bit that Meathead and I discussed yesterday morning between Punk and the absent Hangman Adam Page, that little shot, that little dig was apparently not planned, not part of that promo from the other night. Now, a lot of rumor and speculation as to far as what this could mean. And here's the thing, I don't know how much to read into this, because kayfabe in 2022 is basically working the internet. If you're somebody who runs a professional wrestling company, and the best that you can do, you're never going to replicate the 70s or 80s with kayfabe, but the best you can do is work the fan and work the outlet like this. So I'm not going to go on record and say I necessarily believe that, but I think that at least right now, AEW wants you to believe that that little dig at Hangman was not planned on Dynamite on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, it was technically a pipe bomb. We got him sitting in the middle of the ring to begin that whole promo, and I think Mox even mentioned that you're a pipe bomb. So you can look at it either way, but if there is talk of it, it makes me feel it is more of a work, but that's okay. I mean, it's best for speculation nowadays. Like you just said, I mean, times it's just working the rumored innuendo, working the internet. But I mean, can we just go back to that face off between the two of them? I loved it. I mean, you got both champions just talking, and I'll say it, talking shit right to each other, each other's face, the physicality. That was huge. And it wasn't even with Hangman in the picture, at least with that putting portion of Dynamite the other night.
Absolutely. And, I think right now in AEW, I mean, you've got, of course, people who like both, but you've got Moxley people and you've got Punk people. And I think there are decided camps between the two. So if done correctly, and I think they're going about this the right way, this is much more of an intriguing angle to me than it's, hey, I'm a competitor and I respect you, competitor. Let's, just shake hands and have a great old-fashioned wrestling match. I think they're doing it the right way. Still don't know what's going on with them announcing the match actually taking place next week. I'm still scratching my head over that a little bit. But hey, maybe we will get some answers on Rampage tonight. So what's been laid out so far as the card goes, we have Athena facing believe a returning Penelope Ford. Been a while since we've seen Penelope Ford in action, correct, Linda?
Yeah, I do believe it's been a while. Big fan of Penelope Ford. I really got to see her in-ring work just through AEW. And I like what she's doing there. And I feel like she was in a faction or a duo of some sort. So we'll see if that's still the plan. If not, I'm sure she can definitely hold her own against Athena.
Absolutely. You referenced it earlier, but we have got some trios tournament action going up where we've got Best Friends going up against Parker Boudreaux, Slim J, and Ariya Daivari. in the tournament. And then we have some FTW championship action going on with your current FTW champion Hook going up against Zach Clayton. And not late to the party, not excluded from the party. I was trying to make a party reference there and I kind of botched it, but we've got our tag team
party.
champions.
Is that where you're
yes,
going?
Yes. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland going up against Private Party. So a full card once again tonight. Linda, what are you looking forward to on Rampage?
The return of Penelope Ford, as I mentioned. No, I would do also that tag match. Should be interesting. I liked the backstage vignettes that we've seen between Private Party and Swerve in their glory. So that one. Also, seeing some more trios action just because it's a little newer as far as what's on our television or telephone screens.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching off your cell phone there, telephone. But yeah, so those are intriguing to me, especially the trios. Now that I think about it, I would seeing more of this trios tag action and just kind of understanding more of the spectrum of it. And I mean, I get it, but I want to see exactly how it's laid out at AEW.
Well, and the cool thing is the trios tournament, trios title, I feel like it gives all of these factions that we had seen that AEW really has laid the groundwork to, it gives them something to do and something to chase. And, it gives us interesting storylines, kind of like we had with the Bucks trying to find a partner. Mm-hmm. And, what they're doing with Omega, the fact that maybe this guy's rushing in too quick to help his friend. So I think that this is something that, it's original. I mean, it's not, I cannot recall another major promotion in the States doing this. I mean, going back to my WWE knowledge, my WCW knowledge, outside of like the territory days, I don't think there's been another national company, at least in my memory, that has done it. So it gives them some of that originality there. So I think
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Or if you want me to go.
No, go ahead.
There. So I talked about it with Meathead on Monday, but I did a show for Tri-State Wrestling in Versailles, Indiana over the weekend, and one of the talents there, Dalton Castle. So
yes,
so him and the boys are, because I always ask the talents, like, how would you like to be introduced? And part of his intro was mentioning that he is part of the 6-man tag champions of Ring of Honor.
Oh.
So him and the boys do have their titles. I think they, instead of calling it like a trios or triple champs, it's considered a 6-man tag champ.
I got you. Well, here's the thing. Speaking of Dalton Castle, one of the best entrances in the business, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got the full shebang, if you will.
Oh my goodness.
Not sure if you caught it, but we couldn't technically say the boys because it wasn't the boys that he is with at Ring of Honor. We had some other gentlemen who were stand-ins, and Dalton said that because they're not the boys, they are something different, their own entity, and they were dubbed the Baby Chickens. So
that's wonderful.
I have to send the clip to you guys. I was not facing what would be hard cam, so I got it from the side view, but quite a display. And hey, whether it's at ROH pay-per-view or in a gymnasium, Dalton Castle doing his thing, just living up to that tremendous intro.
So Linda, I'm trying to think back to the entrance, the boys or the Baby Chickens. Is it 2 or 3? How many are present?
2.
Ooh. So let's say theoretically he gets brought back to another show, and of course you're going to be busy with your typical duties. And, if he needs some standing Baby Chickens, I know another co-host on this very program. I bet you just give us a few hours, let us learn some choreography. I'm thinking we could pull it off, Linda.
Oh, my goodness. Let's book it.
Absolutely. I think that is certainly a plan. Well, not to be left out, we have other wrestling options on the television tonight as well. Smackdown coming live to your airwaves on WWE, and I've said it on this program. Yeah, there's been a change at the top, but my goodness, you feel it week to week, whether it be Raw, whether it be SmackDown. There's something different in the air. My goodness, I mean, we're getting a new return, or getting a return almost weekly on Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown coming up tonight. So far, what we've got on the agenda, we're going to have Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre going head to head in the build up for Clash at the Castle. So this is, I guess, the go home to the go home show. It's over Labor Day weekend, so I think we've got another week. And talking about tournament wrestling again, not trios, but it's the WWE Women's Tag Team tournaments. We've got Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark going up against Natalia and Sonya Deville. Linda, after the outcome of the NXT Heatwave the other night with Zoe Stark not being your new NXT champion, does that kind of change how you view this tournament and where Lyons and Stark might go?
If they weren't facing Natty and Sonya?
It's Sonya, yep.
Maybe. I do like when there's that element of surprise. I think there was a tag tournament not too long ago at NXT where I think Idris and brain farting, his partner, I think they had a surprise win in the tournament, but due to it being Natalia and Sonya, while she may be removed of her official duties, official office duties, I still feel she has some pull there, whether it be just persuasion or maybe some shenanigans that might occur. I do feel that while it will be a good match, and I think that's what we'll still get. If you're going to bring up two tremendous talents from NXT onto the main show, you're going to have to show their incredible in-ring ability, especially if you want more eyes on another product that maybe some SmackDown or Raw viewers may not be catching right now, or may not have checked out the new NXT 2.0. You gotta really have them put a huge and great display on, and they may not win it, but that will definitely get some more eyes to the product, or at least you would hope so.
Absolutely. And finally, we've got the Viking Raiders actually paying their respects. Now, Viking Raiders, they're going to show they can be classy gentlemen, going to pay their respects to the New Day with a Viking funeral. Now, I want to specifically talk about this and talk about the Viking Raiders because prior to the last couple of weeks, even the newly repackaged Viking Raiders, if I'm watching on delay, I gotta say, a lot of times this was something I would kind of fast forward through because I just don't necessarily think the Viking Raiders have translated to the main roster for me. However, I believe it was last week we saw the attack and we saw the spot of, I forgot what Viking Raider it was, but there was a splash from the barricade on the outside to a member of New Day. And that's not a traditional WWE spot that we are used to seeing week to week. I know it might sound silly that one specific spot now has my attention, but it does. I want to see where this goes. The Viking Raiders showed they could get a very serious and aggressive side last week, and yeah, I'm curious as to where this match goes, or not match, but this segment goes, and if we continue to kind of get those additional layers in this feud.
Yeah, I mean, well, they are the new vicious Viking Raiders, and vicious indeed. And I do believe that was Ivar on that spot landing on Kofi. So, and I mean, wow, yeah, that was a huge spot there. And something different, like you mentioned, for Viking Raiders. I think this new version of them, it is different. They are wearing different face paint, or maybe it's just the Islander. I'm not really sure, but with the shield that they have, not Rollins, Ambrose, Reigns shield, but their shields that they've been using viciously as weapons as well. It's really just been this feud with the New Day since they've resurged as a new vicious Viking Raiders. Excuse me. Now I'm mentioning Vader. But this funeral, I still think that this is something here where I'm hoping a return of Big E comes very soon. Yeah. You're thinking this is the burial of the New Day, when really, speaking of resurgences, boom, let's bring back not just Kofi. In last time we saw him, he was knocked out. Let's not just bring back Xavier Woods back from injury. Let's bring back Big E as well. Should be very interesting. And again, bringing these vignettes and segments. And I mean, WB known for, just thinking back with nostalgia with the Undertaker. You want to see those caskets,
Yeah.
coffins, if you will. And I said this week as well. We saw the coffin match last week with AEW, and then at the last OVW pay per view, we had a casket match. So I wonder what kind of vessel Vikings use as far as a burial.
I don't know. I can't say I'm extremely familiar with the Viking culture. What a Viking. But here's the thing with WWE right now. It's not only entertaining. I think they're going for an educational element because there's going to be a lot of people tuning in that are going to learn more about Viking culture after tonight. Now, a recap or a preview rather of a show at WWE right now is unfinished unless we speculate on any new talent potentially or old talent potentially returning. I mean, we're seeing it almost every week. Last week we had Hit Row, and I know you referenced Big E, hopefully on his way back soon. But any surprises you think we're in store for tonight?
Johnny Wrestling, Candice LeRae.
That's the name that's out there. That keeps going. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, but what's going on with Bray? Like, he's been gone for a long time. Those speculations are out there. I'm trying to think anybody. What we got Hit Row, which was a call up. Karrion Kross was a call up. Dexter was not. Dexter was NXT. Ah, my goodness. Yeah. I want to be surprised. That's the thing. And I think they've done a great, great job. And what we've seen in recent weeks, you got to watch even those backstage segments close. And you can't watch too close now. And it's so interesting week to week just to even see what they say on commentary using the word hospital, which we saw the whole Elias family, the whole family of Elias and Zeke. I think we even got a little Elrod there. Linda, I'll leave it at this before we conclude for the week, but I'm starting to hear some speculation, especially after the picture of Elias's family the other night. Is this the year we throw back to a la Mick Foley, a la Dude Love, a la Mankind? I'm sorry, Cactus Jack. Do we get potentially Elias, Zeke, and maybe even Elrod? I wouldn't mind seeing Elias's dad that we got to see the other day. Do we get multiple members of Elias's family in the Rumble this year?
In the Rumble. Oh, okay. Yes, I think so. But I think the next one to be unveiled has to be Elrod. We've already learned about him. We have to get him next. And as far as the rest of the family members that we saw in the hospital photo, I think Elrod would be the most one capable of performing in the squared circle.
So I know this would get a lot of not great response from a lot of people, but I don't care. I think WWE could just make me feel so warm and fuzzy if Elrod wins the Rumble next year.
I mean, that would be a great person. Or I was just going to say Elias, but it is, well, whatever version. That would be a great winner. Huh.
I may have to look. We got Labor Day weekend coming up soon, and the PWR rosters reopen. I'm kind of planning for the future. I've got Cody. I've got I drafted Bailey. I may have to check and see. I may have to pull the trigger on an Elrod pickup, Linda.
I think Meathead has Elias or Zeke, but I know they're not the same person. But
yeah, he said that he had Elias and Zeke. I don't think he's ever said anything about Elrod. So that might be a hand I have to play. Well, before we pack it in, Linda, any other bits of news for the good, kind listeners of PWR Today before we hit the road for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean personally, just besides tomorrow's show with Ric Flair as a guest of honor, next weekend I'll be back in the Ville. We have our huge, and Matthew, it is called The Big One. It is our huge end of summer pay-per-view. It's been a hot, no pun intended, summer for OVW. We've been on the road each and every weekend. This one will take place back at the home at Davis Arena. Those in the area that can make it, please, please do. I mean, there's been so much leading up to this big pay-per-view. That's next Saturday, August 27th. If you can't make it there, of course, any pay-per-view from OVW you can get at Fight TV. Otherwise, every Thursday night, you can watch OVW Live. Free Fight TV programming, Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Sorry, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m.
Fantastic. And God bless you, Linda, for leading with Mountain Time. That's the way that it should be. The rest of the world needs to revolve around our Mountain Time axis for a little while. Oh, yeah.
Right. And then also, as I mentioned before, check out GLCW, Great League Championship Wrestling's socials. Another huge show we just announced in collaboration with Big Time Wrestling. We've got your guy,
that's right,
Hart, as our guest of honor at a show in Waukesha, Wisconsin, in the home of Blizzard Brawl. That show is going to be on Sunday, October 23rd. Lots of other shows in between. That one came to mind because we just announced it as well. But stay up to date and everything. I will keep everyone abreast as well of all of the events in the greater Wisconsin and Kentucky area.
Absolutely. A show that now it's looking like is going to bring the entire Thomas family to the greater Milwaukee area to see. I believe the title of the show is The Best There Is, and it is going to be a great night indeed. Well, this has been a great show indeed. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Make sure to catch us on Monday morning where it's going to be, I believe it's going to be Linda in Meathead. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So we'll get back to our normally scheduled programming on Monday. But until then, this is Matthew Thomas for Linda Kay. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you soon.